Due to the graphic nature of the content in this video,
Alright,
viewer discretion is advised.
Hello folks, and happy Halloween. This is the Gamer Nerd, and today I'm going to be commenting on the events of Infamous Second Son Episode 1. If it's not already obvious from the title, but I'm doing a commentary of this video.
This is the Gamer Nerd, and today,
Anyhow,
Infamous Second
let's
Son.
get started.
This should really be interesting.
This should definitely be worth watching and listening to.
7 years ago,
At the beginning of the game, you're given a summary of the events that happened 7 years ago. A small group of humans known as the Conduits emerged, and eventually the DUP was formed to protect people from these conduits, which would eventually become known as bioterrorists by the organization. Unrelated tangent, but still, this has to be said. The DUP is technically a reference to My Little Pony's EUP guard for some reason. I don't know how that reference came about, but yeah. I think this game inspired the EUP guard. I could be wrong though. And this takes place a full 7 years after the events of the first game. Can you believe it? 7 years? 7 years.
Quite amazing on that.
Not that hard to believe.
I like the sunset though.
And all the same, My Little Pony has gone through 9 seasons. 9!
Gotta admit.
Freaking 9 seasons. If they had a 10th season, everything would have come full circle. But we bronies will take what we can get.
Alright.
Anyhow, at this point, I needed to put an additional warning to note that you're entering the point of no return. This is your last chance. If you have an aversion to graphic
back out now.
content, you probably will want to back out now,
And we're back.
as this is going to get ugly.
This is the very first bit that has us.
Now, what's appearing here is tame in comparison to what's happening later on in the video.
That is cool.
Or, in fact, what will probably be happening in a later episode. Because what's happening here probably won't make sense to some of you. And in fact, some of you may even consider it as a crime that you could go to jail for. Now, depending on your country might have different policies for graffiti as vandalism.
Get out.
Now, graffiti is technically art, but graffiti as a form of vandalism definitely is a crime. And the way the main character in this game is doing it right here, that's definitely a crime. He could probably go to jail for that, and technically, I think he probably would go to jail for it.
I gotta say,
My, so much black paint.
break-in system in this game is
Why
incredibly
in the
cool.
world would you want to do this? I have no idea. And I was kind of delayed in turning on the subtitles, so it would probably be a while before you could understand what the characters were saying. Now, for me, it actually ended up making sense to turn on the subtitles because some of my audience is hard of hearing. And There are other reasons why you might want to turn on subtitles, whether it be for the hard of hearing, or cognitive disabilities, or heck, you're learning English as a second language. That's one reason you might want to put on subtitles. Anyhow, understanding how cool this game is, and my guess is the main character you play in this game is Cole. He's actually a pretty cool guy. From the 30 or so minutes I spent playing with him, he's probably one of the best characters I've ever gotten a chance to play as. And considering he's one of those rebel type characters, he's probably more relatable to the teen demographic than anyone else. Some teens just wanted to watch the world burn. And I mean, really. Who didn't want to watch the world burn for anyone's sake? Raise your hand. I didn't want to watch the world burn, technically, but I was going through a depressed phase at one point. For a while, being unable to differentiate fact from fiction. But, and this is a big but, I will say this: don't kill yourself. People with depression could let it get so bad it hurts. And I do mean that. If you let your depression get the better of you, you're in for some big time trouble. You might try to jump off a cliff, and of course I would never want to do that. Nor would any of you in my audience who have been watching me state for the past couple of videos or so not to kill yourself. Because this is a message that bears repeating. Don't kill yourself.
Come on.
In a game like Crash Bandicoot with Spyro the Dragon, I put those games on an undetermined hiatus for a reason. The fact that they were made by the company Activision, before the whole controversy with the microtransactions in Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled started, they were a great company.
Buddy,
sadly, I don't think we can call them so much of a great company today.
Christ, there was nobody in your way.
I'm guessing in the next Crash game they'll put in loot boxes. And we all know how well that goes over, right? Now, I understand Team Fortress 2's need for loot boxes, because it's kind of hard to buy hats outright and clothing outright, or heck, even guns outright in that game. But really, now that the gaming community is getting tired of loot boxes, yeah, there needs to be another way to put some form of good microtransactions in where you can buy what you need outright.
There we go.
Oh, and here's Cole shimmying to the wall there. That's pretty cool.
I don't blame you, buddy.
Now, I would have done a video game like Outlast, but yeah. The potential for jump scares is many. And jump scares are not good if you have heart problems, or you're prone to react negatively to jump scares. I don't mind horror games if they don't have jump scares in them. 'Cause I think I would count
We are
Infamous as a horror game in its own right, because it doesn't really need the jump scares to get you on your edge. You can use the environment in a game to elicit horror. Like,
alright.
you could put the protagonist into like a dark room and not be able to see anything. Personally, I believe that nothing is scarier. Heck, they even have a scare cord. Alrighty then. So, I had to take a convoluted route back to the cannery
Okay.
and try to get to some sort of party.
Exactly
Not
what
sure
I
what
had
kind
in
of party it was, but
mind. That's exactly what I had
I
in
think I
mind.
recall it being some sort of army party or an Amish party or whatever, but still. If you like Infamous Second Son and you want to see more of it, hit me up in the comments and tell me you'd like to see more of this game, because I'm willing to do this game for my audience, because it's full of interactivity. It even uses the touchpad on the PlayStation 4 DualShock controllers. They're pretty awesome. What kind of DualShock controller are you using?
Guys!
DualShock 4, I think. Anyhow, here we see this car crash coming along, and there's a fire breaking out. And that means Cole has to save whoever's in those fires. Oh, and this is the first time you get to see how your powers work, which is pretty awesome.
So I need to search the crash survivors.
Not only are you given the objectives on the top of the screen, or in prompts with the touchpad,
Alright.
you also have to save a bunch of people. Until you realize that this guy was unhinged and using you as a human shield. I mean, seriously? Anyone who tries to do that, whoa. And Cole accidentally touches the guy and ends up gaining a hell of a lot of
That
information
was unexpected.
about him.
What was that?
Actually, remember that moment when you were saving the guy? I take that back. The moment when everything is burning around you, that's when you see your powers coming into play here.
What the hell?
Yeah. You see your powers in that moment.
No!
And I can tell you this. It's pretty awesome once you think about it. And not just for Cole's sake, but for the person playing the game as well. Because you've got all these cool powers you can go nuts over. Because humans, as a species, we tend to have some sort of cruelty potential, don't we?
Reggie!
Of course, not all humans are like that, but there's some that are like that. And I have a caring potential, a patience potential, and a cruelty potential.
You okay? No. What's that? You gotta get that thing off me.
And the thing is, when it comes to games with microtransactions, I have absolutely no tolerance for them when it comes to AAA titles. I mean, the thing is, they should not even be necessary in a AAA game. Now, in a free-to-play game, I can understand that. But in a AAA title, such as a racing game or a fighting game, heck, even in an adventure game, there should be no need for these cash-grabbing microtransactions that want nothing more than to take your hard-earned cash. Anyhow, back to where we were going with the infamous Second Son. As far as I can tell with this game, there are no microtransactions to speak of. And I'm proud of this game for doing that. Now, I understand Farming Simulator with some sort of microtransactions, but those are for downloadable content. And downloadable content, like, you know, like the extra content you find and you can buy from the game, is actually pretty helpful. And that can actually be worth something. However, and this is a big however, some DLC is pretty overpriced. And some DLC is just really not worth the price of admission that they charge you. Like, for example, $99.99 for a measly 100 Wumpa coins. I know I'm exaggerating the price of it here for the amount of coins you get in Crash Bandicoot Racing Nitro Fueled, but still. Really?
Betty needs us right now.
Really? You had to put in the monetized currency in a racing game?
Ah, the airbend.
There's really no need for that in a AAA title. And I do mean that. And when I'm talking about AAA titles, I mean those AAA titles that are not free to play. So, League of Legends is disqualified, and so is Fortnite. And I'll be honest with you, I am not a big fan of Fortnite. Especially those Fortnite dancers. Because, really? Who really cares about Fortnite? Well, I know some people do. But I really don't. And whoa, look at that. Look at that graphic work. That is really amazing for infamous Second Son. I know I tend to ramble a bit here, but whatever I'm rambling about, I think will make greater sense in the context if you rewatch my videos. Wow, that is pretty cool. Early on in the game, you can find this really cool flame whip. It's just amazing. You got a new weapon to attack with, and it is awesome. And you can break up a fight between an old lady and one of the detainees of the conduits. And Why that guy is running, I have no clue. If he's gonna find himself captured anyway. And this is a whole other bunch of information we learn about this guy. He's been wanting to escape for many, many years. He has been looking for a golden opportunity to fight against the DEP's negligent, reckless, homicidal practices. Technically, that would make the guards also conduits. Ironic, isn't it? And I'm bringing this point up now because it will come back to meet us later on in this video, because it's worth listening to.
Just gotta be patient. Sooner or later they'll screw up. They always do. You make me see something.
Holy mackerel, that's a lot of information there. They even got the whole syringe thing in the star. It's just like, it's like you're watching one of those comic books, you know? I know I'm rambling, but come on. It's worth the rambling moments to get to the good nuggets of information that I'm trying to give you.
The DUP prison. If she catches you, that's where you're going.
Still, at any rate, it's worth noting that this game is incredibly, incredibly awesome. And this is where the fight actually begins. You have to chase this dude around the whole place and try to beat him down.
I don't know what happened, but you better be ready to disappear.
And he starts shooting guns at you.
Now, kid,
Man,
terrorists. Welcome to the world.
that could definitely take a drain on your
That's what I ain't
psychic ability, you know.
if I gotta go through you.
And up note, this is one of those games where I never use fast forward once in the whole video,
At least show me how to control it. You got
because I thought you'd be able to
She knows
get
I'm
everything
playing.
without getting into a whole dramatic spiel about everything. Because, yeah,
I gotta get now.
there's some pretty good stuff in there.
Yeah, well, whoever's coming is
And
coming for you, man, not me.
If those players aren't getting it, they're missing out.
Folks here know about you. She's got a way.
And it is quite awesome. Well worth
Quite
it.
a story you got there, buddy.
And I do mean well worth it. And after this fight, you definitely get a choice of whether you want to start on the good or the evil path.
No way, I'm gonna die in a fish gully.
And the reason I chose the good path was for a reason. I want to be a good guy. And this guy got frozen hard.
Whoa.
And oh man, this gal's cruel. You can see her cruel nature in this very cutscene. And to be honest, this cutscene is where you start to make your first choice. Huh, Buzz? I was told it would hurt. And yeah, the pain of making your first good or evil choice hurts. But I'm going to try and stick with the good path as much as possible. Because if I screw up and go on the evil path, oh boy. I chose the good path very early on. And I mean very early on. Heck, I even decided that
Conspiracies. Ooh.
the good path
Now we're getting
was more righteous than the evil path. So, to that end, I'm going to complete all the good missions. And if you want to play through the evil path,
We are engaged.
look it up on YouTube.
With these bioterrorists, and it's my job to do.
Because I'm not doing a playthrough the evil path. No, sir.
Ensure that we remember.
But it's kind of funny because
Anyhow,
aren't you a bioterrorist too?
it's pretty much a given that you'll be faced with choices like this throughout the game. And heck,
Yes. I am.
the conduits had to make such good and evil choices throughout the entire series.
Something that you were not telling me.
What are you doing?
Good grief,
Crazy, I've got rights.
they must have had a lot to go through.
Spend those rights whenever
And I do mean a
it's
lot.
necessary. Now, for instance, ask again.
And to be honest, I have a feeling that that lady who just, ooh,
Jeez.
that has her.
I'm told that.
Yeah,
She's not
you're
wrong.
told right. Absolutely right.
Really? Still nothing. Well,
And you're left with a choice
said that you do have something.
that forces you to either turn yourself in or sacrifice the tribe.
Concrete's especially.
I never chose sacrifice the tribe for a good reason.
She doesn't talk. I'll just move on to the next one. Next.
The tribe
Does.
of conduits is important to me.
Tell me.
I wanted to keep everyone safe,
Friends.
and I do mean that.
That's a death threat. Okay, I'm gonna.
You have the choice of either turning yourself in or sacrificing the tribe. I definitely turned myself in.
First step in becoming
I never gave it any
and that's
second
just
thought
what I want to do.
as to what I would do in that moment. I wanted to align myself with the good people.
What?
Say,
And guess what? I pretty much succeeded at this point.
Caught it.
From a technical standpoint. From a reality standpoint, I haven't gotten that far yet. So,
Maybe you could give me a straight answer.
big whoop there.
Yeah, I'm coming back.
And yeah. This is the part where you're aligned on the good path.
Man, she can be a cool
And
bitch.
after getting aligned with the good path, you get the rank of Protector, which is a pretty cool ranking to get, in my opinion.
Which is quite good, actually. Quite good. Got a new trophy out of it,
Now,
too.
this is the final cutscene you get to see before the playthrough ends. For the first episode, anyways. I was looking for the save game feature, but couldn't find it for a while. After I cut the playthrough, after I cut filming of the playthrough short, I did eventually save the game. So, technically, it was an off-screen moment to save it.
Alright
so,
then.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, actually.
And I see you yelling at your screens like, it's the very top option of the
Anyways, I'm
menu.
gonna stop here.
Choose the save game icon.
And I
Yada
will
yada
see you
yada.
all next time. Peace
But,
out.
but yeah, I can tell that this playthrough was a pretty awesome playthrough. And I even gave my final thoughts about it too. Heck, I may even do the same thing with the commentary and give my final thoughts there. The game is really good. Yeah.
I really like how
That
Infamous uses the card
will be the day of my life. Giving my final thoughts not only on the first playthrough of the game, but also
whichever one you want to be.
how well I did overall.
And
I mean, it's just And that was pretty awesome what you can do in
You had the option
Infamous Second Son.
whether you wanted to turn yourself in.
If you don't believe me,
On the other
then I
hand,
implore
if wanted
you,
to sacrifice
go
yourself
check
to
out this
try,
game.
or
It
you wanted
is
to sacrifice
incredible.
try, you could do that as well.
Whether it's a purchase
But
or rental from
You know
Redbox,
me, wanting to be a hero.
or as a gift from a friend.
Yeah,
It's one of the free games.
I'm a good guy at heart.
Or it's one of the free games on PlayStation Now.
So I did the
Who
right
knows?
thing in this game by turning myself in.
As for me,
Now, for some,
this game
sacrificing
is
yourself
incredibly
to
awesome.
them might seem the right
no
thing.
joke, I love this game.
I want my character to be a
And
good
well,
character.
yeah.
And I like how the Infamous series portrays
I'm gonna say
some-
I love this game, but not as much as my own family.
like
Because
an
family
individual's
is
best
pretty
to
important
project
too.
your own decisions
So,
on. What
in
would you
reality,
do if you were
it's a
in
win-win
that person's
situation for the player and the
Like,
gamer
for example, in
and the
first
family
this game,
to get
there's
a game that
helicopter with
represents
both those feet.
the sides of both
What would
good
you do
and
in
evil,
that scenario? Do you take some
and represents them as
yourself,
accurately
or do
as
some
possible.
survivors? You don't know.
So,
do you?
with that said,
In that case,
I'm going to end off this commentary here,
people are morally
and I
ambiguous in
hope you've enjoyed it.
things.
This is the Gamer Nerd.
And
If you
here
like what you
is
saw,
it's just
like,
as
comment,
well.
and subscribe. And be sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my
We have
future
morals,
videos.
we have values,
This is the Gamer
but
Nerd,
sometimes
and
those
I will
morals
see you all
aren't always
next
good
time.
ones.
Stay tuned for my final thoughts, everybody.
Because some of them are pretty downright evil morals. So those are my first thoughts on the game. This is the Gamer Nerd. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Gamer Nerd, and I will see you next time. Peace out, everyone.
Looking back on this commentary, it was pretty fun to make. And I'm pretty sure it was fun for you all to watch as well. Now, with that out of the way, this is the Gamer Nerd, and I will see you next time, next video. Peace out, everyone, and happy Halloween.